Welcome back to part number 2 of What If Ahsoka Gained the Powers of the Daughter. Thank you so much for your support on part 1. If you aren't aware of the first part, please watch that first before watching this video. Dooku departed from his secret hangar on Coruscant as he sought to investigate what Warden Ozzy Sobek had described, whilst Sidious returned to his duties. As he took his seat in his office, he was interrupted by Grandmaster Yoda, Master Evan Peel and Admiral Tarkin. Yoda decided that Palpatine should be allowed the knowledge to both halves of the Nexus route coordinates, not that this was of any significance to the Sith Lord. As the two Jedi departed, Palpatine asked Tarkin to remain, and the Admiral's report of events at the Citadel was far more detailed and revealing than the Jedi's account. Tarkin recounts seeing a dazzling light ripping the roof off the prison, and Sidious realised this was a powerful presence in the light. Ordering Dooku to stop his pursuit of the investigation, the Sith apprentice is instructed to lure the Jedi to the planet of Umbara in an attempt to find out the identity of the being, and also use the falling Jedi Master Pong Krell to aid their war effort. Back inside the Jedi Temple, Ahsoka was meditating inside her new specially padded quarters when she felt a disturbance in the Force. The light side wielder walked to Yoda's quarters, and she reported that the planet of Umbara was a Sith plan for her identity to be revealed. The Jedi Grand Master paused in thought, and this was maybe the chance for the Sith to unveil more about their intentions. Ordering Ahsoka to stay close to Anakin at all times, the Republic passed through the blockade, and as instructed, Ahsoka joins Anakin in the 501st. However, as soon as they continue with their mission, Anakin had to leave for Coruscant upon the orders of Chancellor Palpatine, but the reality was, Sidious was keen for Dooku to capture Pong Krell and to potentially use as a double agent. Still on Umbara, Ahsoka was horrified at the Basilisk Master's treatment of the 501st as they suffered unnecessarily heavy casualties, and Rex and Fives asked Ahsoka to do something to improve their conditions. Upon one particularly ineffective offensive, the 501st Legion had not been able to clear the way for supplies from the 212th, and Master Krell brutally executed some of the clone troopers. Entering Krell's makeshift quarters, Ahsoka had had enough and ignited her blades. Rex ordered his troopers to stand back, as Krell confidently placed his arms behind his back before igniting his two double-bladed lightsabers. As he marched towards Ahsoka, he was expecting resistance to be futile. After all, he was a Jedi Master, and she was a Padawan. As he swung its blades in a whirlwind, these thoughts were soon extinguished, as Ahsoka deactivated her blades and dodged the attacks with ease, moving from wall to wall in a blur. Master Krell tried to force push Ahsoka, but he found the attack was reflected towards him. Krell's dark side began to flare, and leapt to create a shockwave on the floor. The Jedi Padawan used their new powers to hover above the floor, then summoned a blaster from a nearby clone to stun the Jedi Master. As he is dragged away by the 501st Legion, she received a holographic transmission from Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ahsoka reports of stopping the treachery of Pong Krell, who had planned for the clones to turn against each other, and instructed Ahsoka to meet in the capital city to complete their takeover of the planet. The Togruta Force Wielder put on her hood and moved through the trees to disable the remaining mobile heavy cannons with a Force Crush, guiding the clones to Obi-Wan and the 212th Battalion. As they began to discreetly celebrate their victory, they were disrupted by ARC Trooper Jesse, who disturbingly muttered that Dogma had freed Pong Krell after the former Jedi had convinced him to release him. Obi-Wan desperately contacted the Jedi Council, imploring them to change the Republic's security codes and other pieces of intelligence that could fall into Separatist hands. What they couldn't change, however, was the fact that Ahsoka had easily defeated Pong Krell, and the former Jedi recorded his fight to Dooku and Sidious. The newly acquired Force user for the Sith had felt the power of Ahsoka, and if the Sith were to win, she would need to be captured or killed. Sidious is not so sure, as in his most recent meeting with Anakin, there was nothing about Ahsoka's power that was any different to her contemporaries. But Sidious needed to cover every possibility, however unlikely, and it was time for Palpatine to summon Ahsoka Tano. At the temple, Ahsoka just arrived from Umbara when she received a transmission from Palpatine. Looking at Anakin, he regarded this as a great honour, but little did they know, the meeting would change the face of the Jedi. That is it for part 2 of What If Ahsoka Gained the Powers of the Daughter. If you'd like to see a part 3 soon, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, and on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.